What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
I used to be more of a cat person, but lately, I've been warming up to dogs. Ranga played a big part in changing my mind. Anyway, I hope Soy, Agera, and Ranga's tales shed some light.
Spirit, huh?
Well, don't rush. If trouble brews while I'm around, count on me. Just give the word.
That's a given. Between Gazel's strength and Agera's sword skills, they'd give anyone a run for their money, even Kondu. It'd buy us some time, at least. But
if you ever face Velzard, run. Seriously, she's not someone you want to tangle with.
Oh?
Yep, I haven't seen her in action, but she's got an aura even spookier than Velgrand.
Reluctantly, I agree. After seeing Velgrand, I realize how foolhardy it is to challenge a true dragon. But as a king, I can't abandon my people.
In that case, let's hope Velzard doesn't show. But if she does, hit me up.
I said, tapping my mobile phone.
Oh, you've got one.
Like I said, it's a nifty gadget for direct communication. Still pretty rare, so take care of it.
I only shared my personal number in the control room line. I didn't hand out L-Tans or Murmiles Kuns. Asking them directly seemed more polite. I remember being annoyed when my number got passed around without my say when I was alive.
Oh, I understand now. So, if you input the number you already have stored, it'll connect you with the other party.
Exactly. Not everyone's got it, but those who do, hit them up for their digits.
Got it. If you ever need a hand, I'm your guy.
That's the deal. Ring me up if you need anything, and I'll see what I can do.
Counting on you. And hey, if there's ever anything I can do, just say the word. I'm here to help however I can.
Gazel and I share a laugh. I doubt Dwargan's gonna be in the crosshairs, but it's a relief. And just like that, emergency response talk wraps up. We spend a few days in the Dwarven Kingdom before heading off to the Kingdom of Farmenas. That's where Gadra's hanging out. He's been Diablo's apprentice and lending a hand to Testarossa. Word is, Gadra had to spill all the Empire's secrets to get Masayuki on the throne. He's been running between the two countries, but now he's settled in Farmenas. Figured I'd pick his brain while I'm here. The capital's way busier than I expected. Last time I was here, it was still under construction, and it still is. Difference now is, more areas are tidied up. Outskirts of the capital, they've got this big ol' station up. Warehouses nearby, too. Being a pit stop between Bloomond and Dwargon, they need somewhere to stash all sorts of goods. Couldn't squeeze the station in the capital itself, so they plunked it next door. They've held off on building the royal capital, opting to focus on future economy instead. Could also be the current Farmenas families strapped for cash. Basically, I'm bankrolling their construction. We're handling the Magitrain tracks contract. Sounds generous, but it's business. Our country gets a slice from rail use fees, plus we snagged free land use forever. Once it's all set, we sit back and let the cash roll in. Even after factoring in labor and upkeep, it's a sweet deal. I'm on the Magitrain project, while Farmenas tackles the city sprawl. Mule Land's been spearheading city planning, but she's out on maternity leave. King Yome's filling her shoes. Said he's uneducated, but he's sharp. Hit the books to step in for Mule Land. Even now that she's back, he's got his hands full leading nobles and officials. To help Yom out, I hooked him up with a low-interest loan. Why not interest-free? Because that can muck up friendships. Loaning money to pals can sour things quick. So, we drew up a solid contract that benefits both sides. That's why we prioritized economic activity in the construction and started shaping the city's development accordingly. As we wrapped up our reception at the gate and took in the vibrant cityscape, a horse-drawn carriage awaited us, specially arranged. Ideally, we'd have been accompanied by our own entourage, akin to a feudal lord's procession. However, due to the urgency of the situation, there was no time for a leisurely train journey, so I opted for teleportation, bringing along Soy and Ranga as my companions. I reached out to Gadra, requesting a carriage to maintain a low profile in the Kingdom of Farmenas. I felt a sense of relief knowing that he had arranged transportation for us. This kingdom was unlike Milam's, where things were more relaxed.
Thanks for waiting. King Yome's eager to meet you. I'll take you to the castle.
Out steps Gadra, not a bad move.
Whoa, you didn't have to come all the way to the gate.
No way. Missing this chance would have been a huge blunder. Plus, if I didn't greet Rimuru-sama, Diablo-sama would probably have me executed.
Gadra chuckled, but it wasn't all fun and games.
If Diablo's giving you a hard time, just let me know. You're under my wing now.
Weird calling an old-timer like Gadra. You, but I'm getting used to it. Should give Gadra a heads up. Diablo might act cool around me, but he's a wild card when I'm not watching. If he messes up in Leon's place, it's whatever, but in Tempest? Big trouble. Gadra's Diablo's guy, so he can't just complain. That's where I come in, watching from behind the scenes. But Gadra's cool with it. Seems he'll endure anything for knowledge. Hard to understand folks with quirks like his. Best to let him be, and I decide to do just that. Hop on the carriage, Gadra fills me in on Masayuki's coronation. Carriage rolls through the city, so I use the time wisely.
So, how'd Masayuki's crowning go?
Everything went smoothly. Testarossa-sama and Velgrin-sama had his back, making sure nothing went wrong.
Well, if we've got those two in our corner, then we're definitely in good shape.
If they weren't on board, that'd pose an issue, but I just had this feeling they were. First off, Masayuki was one lucky guy. And with powerhouses like Testarossa and Velgrind backing him, I had complete faith that nobody could oppose him.
The people were thrilled to see Velgrin-sama's grandeur. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Gadra confirms. Can't really argue with that. When you see a dragon unleash a volcanic display to solve a problem, it's hard not to be impressed. Seems like Velgrind has a flair for turning volcanoes into fireworks.
Some folks aren't totally sold, but Testarossa-sama's got it covered.
Will it all go as planned?
No doubt. Calgurio Dono and the rest were concerned Testarossa-sama might wipe out the dissenters, but those worries were needless. My intel came in handy, and Mas-sama's expertise impressed me. I'm confident he'll exploit the enemy's vulnerability and handle this situation flawlessly.
True enough. Wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of those two.
If anyone's bold enough to oppose us, we'll just bring them over to our side.
You hit the nail on the head. I'd feel the same seeing that.
Gadra and I share a laugh. I have to admit, Gadra really is a wonderful old fellow. Feels like we're on the same wavelength. Inside the castle, we're greeted by King Yam, Queen Mule Lan, and their ministers. Edmalus, the former king of Farmenas, is there too, though he looks different from when we last met. Slimmed down and clean-shaven, he seemed sharper than before. Figured it'd be awkward to chat, so I let it slide. Even though this visit was unofficial, I filled them in on the looming disaster. Avoiding war would be ideal, but everyone knows it's a long shot. Farmenas is strapped for cash, relying on loans from us, and their military's still rebuilding. Training knights ain't like flipping a switch, and hiring mercenaries is out of the question. I won't shoulder all the blame, even if I had a hand in it. Can't worry about everything and still aim for justice. I don't claim to be perfect, but I'll fight for what's right. If I don't, the victims won't get justice. So, even if I feel responsible, I keep it to myself. But as an ally, I'll offer all the help I can. Sending Gadra is part of that, and Yam and the others get it. Basically, the vassals here know they can't afford to cross me.
Boss, how's the situation?
Yam asks for everyone.
We, the demon lords, have put in quite a bit of effort into preparations, but honestly, it's still a bit uncertain. I'm not entirely confident it's sufficient, which is why I've been on the move.
Gadra's briefed them, so there's no confusion. He's even sorted the magic transfer circle setup without me saying a word.
Gadra here can fill you in on the fine-tuning and how to use it.
No problem.
So this is the emergency escape plan. But, where you run to is the real question.
Yeah, sometimes running just buys you time, not safety.
Well, if the boss's country goes down, doesn't matter where I go. Guess I'll just accept my fate.
Yom's upbeat tone was met with approving nods from his vassals. Looks like folks in this country are more wary of me than I realized. At the same time, there's this odd belief floating around that if victory's not guaranteed, there's no point trying.
Hey, don't throw in the towel just yet. Keep at it till the end, alright?
Absolutely. My little girl just arrived, so I've got plenty to live for. But seriously, why hasn't she called me Daddy yet?
Yom's turned into quite the doting dad. He's playfully prodding at Meme, the bundle in Mule Land's arms, and grumbling about it.
Well, maybe if you stop bugging her, she'll get some shut-eye.
I shoot him a warning. Mule Land's taking care of Meme, and she'd be livid if Yom woke her up. Being considerate like that shows he's got some sense. Maybe.
Please, do enlighten him more. He gets a bit too carried away when it comes to this little one.
Mule Lan remarked with a hint of disdain. I can picture that's his typical demeanor.
It's all because of that darn wolf who thinks my daughter's his daughter. I have to be on high alert.
That's Yom's take, but it's lost on me.
What a load of nonsense. I'm the one who's gonna marry Mulan down the line. So naturally, her kid's mine too.
Grucius, for crying out loud, give it a rest. How many times do I gotta tell you that you're dead wrong?
Yeah, Yom's nuts, but that Grucius guy? He's off his rocker too. I get that Meme's adorable, but claiming her as his own daughter? That's a whole new level.
Well, I get where Yom's coming from.
See, Grucius? I told you the boss would understand.
Even with all his duties, Yom's worried that if he doesn't spend enough time with Meme, he won't be remembered as her dad. He's bent on making sure Grucius doesn't steal his thunder. But you know, in this day and age, fixating on stuff like that isn't wise. If it helps him feel better, even if it's kinda silly, it's all good. However,
Let's steer clear of dumb moves that might end up in a death trap, alright?
that was my warning before handing Yom and the crew a rundown of potential disaster scenarios. We convened at the Kingdom of Farmenas' main government building. With a rough plan in my head, explaining things went smoothly. I expected Yom and his team to focus on getting the folks in Farmenas out of harm's way, not duking it out. Since the magic transfer circle I set up couldn't whisk away a ton of people at once, we had to sort out who'd use it in advance. I stressed the need for smooth coordination to avoid clashes. But even with a safe haven in mind, the goal of the transfer was different. Instead of just evacuating VIPs, we were more concerned about deploying troops. If Farmenas turned into a battleground, the fresh-off-the-block knights would jump into action. Grucius had been putting the recruits, both newbies and old Farmas hands, through their paces, but they weren't battle-ready. So, we arranged to ship in reinforcements from elsewhere. Would have been simpler if we'd stationed them from the get-go, but without knowing where the enemy would strike, we had to keep our options open. After weighing the stakes, it was decided that Farmenas would be put on hold. Losing the kingdom was a blow, sure, but it could be rebuilt. As long as we kept civilian casualties low, there was no need to rush into war. It wasn't easy breaking the news to Yom and the gang, but they got it, and they agreed. Naturally, I pledged to back them up as much as possible, even if things hit rock bottom and we had to start from scratch. This kind of groundwork was crucial for making the most of our limited resources.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Nate, Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rossan, Jarius Ladek, Ray Perez, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Panda Cats, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Kamal Ebanks, Chris Jr., Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Quilly Buckner, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J Rule, Liron Sangkap, Lucas Gay, Jason Martin, Echo Ski, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Andre Hamilton, Guy Endsley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Smexy, Carl Stephen Bernadel, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Jordan Mersha, Kamal Luke, Individual, Spencer Candila, Ian Sikibul, Putate, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, Lamar, KACP9R, Tony, Jack, Winston Harvey, Mike Roch, thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.